What's going on, everybody? On YouTube, Steve here, Rake and Profit. Welcome back to another live stream. We actually had to end the previous one because it was only showing my face. So I'm hoping that it'll show Marc's beautiful face on this camera as well. But in any event, guys, today we're going to be talking about 11 mistakes to avoid when before you start drop shipping on eBay. And we're here with Marc Augustine. He's with the No BS Dropshipping training YouTube channel. He's the founder of DSGENIE. He's doing about 10,000 a month drop shipping. He's been doing this for a long time. So welcome to the show, man. And why don't you kind of tell everybody who you are and how you got started? And I'll keep my fingers crossed that people can see your beautiful face.
Yeah, because I actually saw myself. So I have the video up. So I saw myself a second ago, but we'll see what happens. I don't know. So what was I saying? So yeah, so I've been drop shipping on eBay since I think I see myself now.
I see you. Yes. Woo! If you guys are watching the replay and you don't know why I'm excited, I'm sorry, but we couldn't see his face before, and now you can. So yeah, keep going, man.
Yeah. So I've been drop shipping on eBay for going on 7 years now, right?
Oh wow.
Just a quick backstory. I'm 35. I grew up in Trinidad and Tobago. That's a Caribbean island. Moved to the US when I was 18 to study mathematics in Baltimore, Maryland. Got married, divorced, moved back home for a couple of weeks, then moved to Costa Rica. I used to blog about credit. That's how I used to make money online when I first graduated from college. When the credit crisis hit and I wasn't getting a lot of credit and my blog became boring, one of my readers introduced me to eBay dropshipping right when I needed it, right? Because I had moved to Costa Rica with 60 grand. And I was recently divorced, so I partied away literally all my money. I had $200 left. And he had made a little bit of money, but he was like, he doesn't really know how to actually make proper money. Let me try it out. He thinks that I could try it out because I was like a relatively smart person, right? So, and I've been doing it since then. Like it took me about 6 months to get up to making six figures. I don't really even like to use those words, but to get up to making like $10,000 a month. Oh wow. And I mean, I've been going down and up once or twice, but yeah, I've been making pretty much around that steadily for about 4 or 5 years now. My top month was close to 40,000 back in like Christmas 2013, and like I pulled back and and that's why it's a long story. But once we hit that, I didn't like the level of customer service and stuff, and that's why that's how DSGENIE came about. But that's a whole. But yeah, but I've been doing this full time ever since. I currently live in Nicaragua. It's a cheap, safe Central American country, and I live here because it's cheap. And yeah.
Cool, man. Awesome. So yeah, we're definitely in store for a really, really awesome show. He's been in the game for a while. He has pretty much like the #1 drop shipping YouTube channel that's out there. If you type anything related to like eBay or drop shipping together, I was just telling him before the show, I said, man, I'm gonna try to outrank you, but I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it because you are like dominating YouTube, man. But he has a Facebook group, the Honest Dropshippers, correct?
Yeah, correct.
That's like 30,000 people. YouTube channels like over 10,000. Yeah. And he's definitely killing it. So we're gonna be answering some Q&A, guys. Our goal for this video is to help you to get started. And more specifically, we're going to be diving into some of the biggest mistakes to avoid before you get started. So you've been in this game for a while, about 7 years. Let's start off with one of the biggest mistakes, Marc, that people make when they're, getting into drop shipping.
Right. So I made a list of like 6 different things. But I will leave like my mistake for last because I feel like that is the biggest and we can learn most from that. And I just want to say, because we have this software, I get to see like an overview of not just me, but like hundreds of people also drop shipping, right? So last year, I have looked at close to $20 million in sales on eBay, which is nuts, out of everyone in my circle who drop ship. And okay, so one of the biggest mistakes a lot of people make is looking for shortcuts, right? And I'll explain certain specific shortcuts that a lot of people look for. So when you first start to dropship, you sell on eBay, right? So if you first start to sell on eBay, there's this like PayPal jail, right? And a lot of people, I see posts in the group, how do you get around PayPal jail? A lot of people try all type of stuff, selling fake items, selling ebooks. And a lot of times that gets you in a lot of trouble. Like, there's certain little hurdles that you just have to get over, right? And have to accept. And I don't know if it's a lot of users don't have confidence that they're going to make proper money doing this, so they want to like cut corners immediately. But I've seen people try to buy stealth accounts, try to use PayPal, when the best way to go about it is have your own PayPal and eBay account and just get over the hurdle, as opposed to like cutting that corner. You know what I mean?
It takes time. I mean, recently I started up a brand new account for my drop shipping business, and I have a couple accounts that are already established. One of them has like over 2,000 feedback, and another one has like a couple hundred plus. But I wanted to create a new account because I wanted to like keep like my thrift store, garage sale stuff, and then I have like a niche store. I wanted to keep it separated. Right. And what I did, and I'm not sure if people know this, but if you already have an established account, you can actually call eBay and say, hey, I've got another account that's established. I created this new one. Could you link them up? And I went from being able to list 10 items up to $1,000. They boosted me up to 2,000 items and $20,000 limit, like instantly.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
But I mean,
yeah, that's interesting because a lot of people who I interact with haven't sold on eBay before, right? So I just learned something from you, and I'll share it with my guys also. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, I mean, it takes time. Like you said, you don't want to go out there and buy stealth accounts and do all these crazy things. I mean, I don't have experience with it. I've heard stories, but I think another big mistake people make, and this is related to what you were saying, is they're not patient. Like anytime I've started a new business, Mark, it's taken like a while, 3, 6, 9 months to start actually learning the business. Right. And I'm sure you see people, they come in and they want to make 10,000 a month. And it's like, you ask them, like, they're saying like, oh, Mark, I'm struggling. And you're like, well, how long you been at it? And it's like 5 days.
Right. And like people commented, and with the patience thing also, people commented. So if you've watched some of my videos, I try not to talk too much about how much money I make. And I think that's also a detriment to people finding me, because people react to the money making part of it more than anything else. But so many people commented saying, I want to make $10,000. I want to make $1 million. Like I had someone email me last week asking like, can you make $1 million drop shipping on eBay? And a lot of these guys haven't made $100 yet. You know what I mean? So like, it's and I think it's a result of a lot of like how making money online is marketed in general. Yeah. That like you driving all these big cars and having all these big houses. And like I do all my videos next to my pool because of that. You know what I mean? But a lot of people don't have the patience to understand. Like we're so lucky. Like my parents, if they had to start a business, had to go rent a place, had to go figure stuff to sell, had to go borrow books from the library to learn things about what to do, right? So I think like, yes, the internet is amazing. Yes, like we can make all this money online, but there still needs to be a level of patience that I think a lot of people miss. And that comes into like a second mistake that a lot of people make, another mistake that a lot of people make when growing. And it's trying to get a lot of feedback early, right? Ooh. Now, I actually made a video, I want to say like 2 years ago, about going on to eBay and buying a lot of ebooks to get like sales feedback. I mean, buying feedback. Right, you're not getting seller feedback, right? But in about maybe 6 months after I made that video, eBay implemented a feedback manipulation clause. So you can't just, so like, I didn't know that. So even if you're doing that, you might want to buy one ebook today, wait 2 or 3 days on one ebook, another 3 days. But I've seen tens, if not hundreds of people get their account like not restricted forever, but temporarily suspended for feedback manipulation. So a lot of people like, they have no feedback, let me go buy a lot of stuff. And all those buying feedback, it is kind of obvious, like you're trying to trick $1 billion company, right? eBay.
Yeah. So when someone's looking to maybe purchase from you on eBay, when they see feedback, that could be buyer or seller. So it doesn't matter. Does it really matter if you have buyer or seller? It's still going to show.
No, it doesn't. It shows up. It shows up just as a specific number. I wasn't sure about that. When I first started to sell on eBay 6, 7 years ago, I started to sell on eBay back in 2006, but there was like buyer and seller feedback separated, but now it's all together.
Let me ask you a question. And I see a lot of people looking to, find a reputable drop shipping source. What do you think a big mistake is that people take on when they're first getting started looking for like a supplier? We've got Jules in the comments asking about how to find a reputable drop shipping company.
Yeah, I just saw this. Okay, so this is the other thing. So most of the content online is about Shopify dropshipping, right? So a lot of people get a lot of, and because of the internet and YouTube, there's a lot of like information overload, right? You're getting information here, here, and you're trying to piece them together. So let me try to so I see this person, how do you find a reputable drop shipping? I'm guessing, in the US. So with eBay drop shipping, I personally, and everyone that I know, use retailers. So it's more of a retail arbitrage sort of thing, as opposed to getting, like for instance, I'm setting up a Shopify store right now, right? And I call suppliers and call manufacturers and negotiate for me to drop ship their items. On the eBay side, that is generally not what is done. Like I literally sell over $100,000 a month, and these items are coming from Walmart, Amazon, Target, Academy, Hay Needle. It is all retail. So it's retail arbitrage, but without having, because I know you do some retail arbitrage, right? Like you actually go get stuff and sell it, right? So it's like retail arbitrage, but all online. And like when I first got into it, I was like, and that's another mistake. Like this can't work. But all I needed to do was to check the eBay marketplace, search for a lot of the items, and notice there are people selling tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands, and maybe I have about 7 competitors that sell over $1 million a month, all coming from other retailers. So it is it's a little different than what you generally see with AliExpress and I don't use AliExpress. That's a whole other story. But let me.
Yeah, I mean, because AliExpress, a lot of people, I've drop shipped, via AliExpress for a Shopify store that I have. But for the traditional eBay direction, the shipping is going to probably be too long, right? Because shipping could be anywhere between 7 to upwards to 30 days plus. Is that correct, or is that wrong?
Right. So that's the problem. When you're drop shipping from AliExpress, eBay actually requires for you to sell on eBay, you have to be able to deliver the item before 30 days, right? And and then the challenge with using AliExpress are the returns. Like the cost of sending this stuff back to China, the margins might be big enough. So there's some people that do it to kind of offset their sales. So I know a lot of big eBay dropshippers that use the retailers as a majority, but they use AliExpress for maybe like 10% of their items. But I personally don't do it because the returns is a problem. The margins aren't big enough, and you have so little control and tracking. Because another thing is, in order to, for example, get top-rated seller, your tracking needs to be registered with eBay. You need to be using FedEx and UPS and USPS and that type of stuff. But AliExpress, that's not going to work. You see what I'm saying? So, and then it just doesn't work out, So I don't use. That's interesting you brought up. That wasn't even on my list. But one of the biggest mistakes, because so many people use AliExpress for Shopify and they just connect AliExpress with drop shipping, using it on platforms like eBay is just setting yourself up for trouble.
Where would you recommend somebody first get started sourcing from? Amazon or Home Depot, Walmart?
I'll tell you my experience. And I know you had Paul on the channel because they're like kind of 2 separate ways of how you decide to sell on eBay. So I personally, the majority of my items come from Walmart, from walmart.com. Secondly, Kmart and Sears. And then I have some from like Academy, Target. Academy is actually a big one for me, Academy Sports, right? So those are just some of that. Yeah, I think their headquarters is in Houston, and I only knew about them because I lived in Houston. So it's Academy Sports. But anyone who's thinking about drop shipping, this is my suggestion, right? Anyone who's now starting out on drop shipping on eBay, my suggestion would be to go on eBay.com, search for any brand new item. You want to stick to brand new stuff. I usually give people the example of like a men's mountain bike, office tables. I'm just giving you an example of stuff that I know sell. A baby stroller, any sort of those items.
Evergreen stuff.
Yeah, furniture, couches, all that type of stuff. Find the brand new items and do a search for the image or do a search for the description, and you'll see where these people are buying it from, right? When this idea of eBay dropshipping first came like relatively popular online, the idea was dropshipping from Amazon to eBay, right? Because Amazon ships really quickly and Amazon has a wide range and blah, blah, blah. But right. Because most dropshippers use Amazon as a supplier, or because there's a high percent of people that use Amazon as a supplier, the margins that you would make on eBay is actually a lot lower than some of the other stores because everyone is using it. Like this conversation taking a much different turn than I expected, but yeah.
Yeah, we got a lot of people asking questions and stuff. And I just want to take a minute to thank everybody so far who is in the chat. I know it's kind of an odd time, afternoon, but we really wanted to get this video out. So 54 people watching live right now. So if you guys are enjoying this video so far, do us a big favor, guys, and smash that like button down below. There's only 8 likes, but 55 people in the comments. I mean, I'm not a mathematician, man, but there's a lot of people who are watching without hitting that like button. So be sure to definitely hit that like button. Check out his channel over at No BS Dropshipping Training. But let's move on to another mistake, man. We'll definitely get in the comments and answer questions. But what's another mistake that you see people making and something to avoid before you start dropshipping on eBay?
Right. Well, a lot of people, for some reason, have a fear of communicating with eBay and PayPal. They have this idea that like they're doing something they should not be doing. When anything happens, if sales go down, if you can't register on eBay properly, if you're doing something, set up your account on eBay, like suspend your account or something, they run online, they search on Google, they post in groups, but they wouldn't just call eBay or PayPal. You see what I'm saying? And those guys have a lot of the answers that we need, like a lot. Like a lot of times I might tell some guys, like someone might message me, hey, Mark, eBay restricted my account. Should I go buy another account? Before they even call eBay and say, hey, why did you restrict my account? You know what I mean? or like, I remember a guy from Russia recently drop shipping in the US, and his PayPal fee was like 5.4% or something. And he was just like, oh, I'm not going to make money like you guys because I'm paying 3% more than everyone else. And he complained and did all of that before calling PayPal. I'm like, hey, you're charging me 5.4%. How can we fix this? You know what I mean? So you have to understand that we are working. These guys control the traffic, our money. So it would make sense logically that we deal with them. Like we're not tricking them into letting us sell on the platform. You see what I'm saying? So any troubles that come up in that realm, just call eBay, PayPal. Don't be afraid to say you're a drop shipper. Don't be afraid to tell them what's going on, because you don't want, remember, I'm doing this full time, right? You don't want your livelihood, and I'm teaching people to make a full-time living on this. You don't want to base your livelihood paying your money on paper, knowing what. Because like it happens out and you do something wrong, just cut you off, then you don't have income. So look at people as friends as opposed to like enemies, or the fact that, are you? Yeah, I'm still here. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, I think your internet's chopping up a little bit. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I hear you fine the entire time.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think you're back. The last like 15 seconds you turned into like Mark the robot.
Okay, sorry, I apologize. But yeah, you just want to focus on, you don't want to stray away from dealing with eBay and Amazon. If a problem comes up, just call them. It's not the end of the world. They're not going to shut you down. These are our partners in this business.
Cool, man. Awesome. So one mistake that I've been seeing people making who they want to start drop shipping from like from like Walmart or Home Depot or from any retail stores is they're not getting becoming tax exempt. Do you want to talk about that? Because I didn't even know, like, well, I knew it existed because I did retail arbitrage, but there's a lot of people who message me saying like, I didn't even know that you can do that. How important is it to become tax exempt if you're going to be drop shipping from these retail sites?
Right. So, okay. So this is the thing. This tax exempt thing affected eBay dropshipping in the past year and a half, more than anything before. Because what would happen is that I was tax exempt for a long time. So I would sell an item on eBay and Amazon, collect state taxes in about 27 states, and then pay Walmart or all those guys. This was a year and a half ago, right? Pay Walmart their taxes. And because of tax law, because I haven't physically touched the product, the state can't collect taxes from Walmart and from me as well for that one item, right? So we got away with doing that for like 3 or 4 years. Some of the tax laws changed a bit, and then eBay started to crack down on us being able to charge sales tax. And that is what forced people to get tax exempt, right? Because you have to, and when I say force, you have to understand that selling on eBay, on the platform of eBay, means that you're competing with other eBay sellers, right? All of us on eBay have the same resources, have the same restrictions. So if your competition has tax exempt, they could afford to lower their prices and still make 10 to 12%, and then we're losing 5 to 7% on our end. You see what I'm saying? So you want to be able to compete. It's a competition, whether you like it or not. A lot of the times you're going to end up selling the same item as some other drop shippers. Not all the time, because I've seen Becky, who's here right now, sell some items that are not sold by other people, right? But you want to be able to compete. That's just so tax exempt is extremely important because a lot of the other drop shippers have it. I am tax exempt for Walmart, Home Depot, and Amazon, right? So if you want to compete with me and you happen to be selling the same product, you want to be able to be tax exempt on those same suppliers.
Perfect, man. Cool. What else do we have for mistakes for people to avoid right now? Hopefully you guys are enjoying this video because there's a lot of gold nuggets being dropped right here. But what else do we have for mistakes that people need to avoid before they get started with drop shipping, Marc?
Right. So I have two others, but this is my biggest mistake that I made, and I've seen a lot of people make it. So my biggest mistake was not looking at eBay dropshipping like a real business. And this might sound crazy, right? And I actually only changed that recently, like within the last few months. And I'll explain why, right? So I used to like blog and do all these little things online. You make a couple bucks, a couple $1,000s a month. And then when I found eBay dropshipping, mentally, I was like, and I don't like to use these terms, mindset and all these buzzwords that you see knocking around, right? But like mentally, I was like, okay, I'm shipping from eBay. I'm in my bed. I'm like selling stuff, ordering stuff. I'll make a couple grand. I might hire a VA or two and like make more money, right? But I never really looked at it like, for example, when that month we hit like 40 or 50,000, we hit about 40,000 profit. We had like a ton of work and like we almost lost the eBay account because of the numbers of cases. So my thought was like, oh, let me pull back and sell less and stick around my little $10,000 a month, which is a lot of money, right? I'm not saying it's a little bit of money, but like whatever, right? But then a close friend of mine, Matt, he drop ships on Amazon, which is against Amazon terms of service. So you guys who are watching this, don't run and decide to go drop ship on Amazon. Amazon would shut you down. But he was able to scale up to $9 million in sales in 1 year, drop shipping, right? So I always looked at it like, Matt is crazy. He's on Amazon. There's a lot of traffic. Until a couple months ago, I was like, but I got close to that in 1 month. Why didn't I structure, like, why didn't I train more people and just scale like a real business? And a lot of times, a lot of your growth, like I was just making money and spending it and making money and chilling or saving it or whatever. But I wasn't thinking like, let me hire one more person. Let me systematically look for ways to scale this business past my 10,000. I have guys who are making 2, 3, 4,000 for the past 2 years and they're chill. And I think I know because I made that mistake and how I look at my own business, a lot of the people who look at my videos for direction on how to grow an eBay business also made that same mistake because they're looking for me for cues for what I'm doing, what they should do, right? So I know that is something that I left tens of thousands of dollars on the table because of that mistake. And I just hope that other people wouldn't really make the same mistake.
That's awesome, man. That was definitely a great tip right there. One mistake I wanted to share that I've made in the past with eBay in general and other businesses, from Amazon to just a ton of different things, Kindle publishing, is not surrounding myself with like-minded people, right? Like, I'm getting started with eBay right now and drop shipping, and I'm surrounding myself with you. I'm surrounding myself with Paul. I'm going into, Paul's group and your Honest Dropshippers group, and I'm immersing myself with people who are already succeeding. And I think that's huge. Like 5-10 years ago, like if you wanted to drop ship or you wanted to get into any business, like you had to like go to the library or go to like meetups, like in the physical form. But now like you could get into a Facebook group, man. Like I was reading through your Facebook group the other day for like 2 hours and I learned like 85 things within like, you know what I mean? Like the path is already created out there, whether it's drop shipping on eBay or private labeling on Amazon or starting a YouTube channel. There's people out there who have already paved the way. So get around like-minded people, man. And that's what I really love about your group. There's like 30,000 people in there that are all like,
and that is, and that changed. Like I created that group because, okay, when I got into eBay dropshipping, the biggest thing was DS domination, right? Which is a multi-level marketing like built company for eBay dropshipping. So the people invited other people in more to make money off their subscription than it was about actually sharing information, right? So you had all these people pretending to like make money just to get you to sign up instead of being honest. Because I remember posting, and that's why I started the group, because I remember posting in that group like 4 years ago. So Walmart started to cancel a lot of my orders, right? I was selling over 100 items a day. So imagine like 3 days in, Walmart canceled every single order I had. So I have maybe like 80 orders for 3 days. So almost 300 orders, 240 orders. And I posted in the group like, what do you guys do to fix this problem? No one had an answer. So what that told me is that no one was selling as much as I was, but every day everyone was pretending like they were making all this money. So the problem there is, so that's why I created this group. And luckily now that like a lot of YouTubers are sharing what they're doing online, a lot of Facebook groups, a lot of you guys watching this have like a ton more resources than I had. And I'm sure when you started selling eBay, Steve, then that was previously available 5, even 3 years ago, 4 years ago, right? Like even when I started a YouTube channel, there was one other dude with an eBay dropshipping channel. His name is Otto Thompson or Otto something. But it wasn't about sharing information. It was more about talking, right? But now guys need to go look for the information. It's there. You know what I mean? I just saw someone commented, "What's up, mother effer?" He clearly watches my channel.
somebody was asking, where was it in the comments? Because if you guys watch his videos, like he drops like so many F-bombs, and like I have no problem. Like if you guys met me in real life, like I don't swear the most, but like I definitely swear like a little bit. And you guys might not think that because like you see, the YouTube channel, but I just try to keep it clean because I know there's some like older folks and some young kids that watch. But someone in the comments was like, just joined. Hope Mark hasn't been swearing too much. He's been doing a great job. I'm actually very proud of you, man. Like I thought, like I didn't know if you were capable of it, but you've got your
no, because I'm trying because like on my channel, I'm like, it's my channel, I'm going to say what I want. But
I get it.
Like on Becky's channel, and Becky brought up like when you have kids watching this, like I don't want videos of going
having a hard time hearing you for a second. I think Mark just froze. He may or may not have just froze. So I'm going to see if he unfreezes, and I'll go into the comments and see what's going on. Jennifer says,
fine, which is strange.
Okay, cool. You're back.
Yeah, I hear you.
You had like, okay, cool. You had like froze for 15 seconds. Mark Stein says, yeah, I think Mark is hilarious and informative. That's one thing I like about Mark's channel. One thing I like about your channel is you keep it, educational, but you also like to have fun and screw around and enjoy yourself. And I think life's too short to be like so serious. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're talking about drop shipping. You're not talking about like, how to become a doctor or get into med school or
and like,
why not? Like
half of the reason I started this is like some people are like, why don't you wear like nicer clothes? I'm in a hot country all year round. I sit around in tank tops every day. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just, I like having fun with this. Like, I have hard work tattooed on my hands because I worked really hard to like get to where I am and to have the ability to make this money and not like be under control and have to like live this serious life. So that's
right.
I apologize for who it offends, but like that's who I am.
No, I think being true to yourself is one of the most important things. And one of the cool things about a YouTube channel is you can be whoever you are for the good and the bad, and you're going to attract like people, which is great, you know, because there's kind of like an ass for every seat. There's a personality for every other type of personality. So I respect it. Going to answer a couple questions, and then we're going to probably try to go over to Marc's YouTube channel to see if we can break his cherry on his first YouTube live experience over there if he's still down. But got a question from Anthony. Question: should you start off with these larger, more expensive items if you're drop shipping? And when do you decide to drop ship smaller items like clothing, electronics, food, office supplies, etc.? So should you start off with the big, more expensive items, Marc, or like the cheaper kind of smaller
This is
items?
the thing. Like most of the time, feedback doesn't matter. But when you're trying to sell items over $200, people are going to look at your feedback to see if they could trust you. So if you're brand new to selling on eBay, I would focus on items below $200 retail. That's if like you never flipped stuff before, you don't have a lot of feedback. I would start with items below $200. Once you have a decent amount of feedback, when I say a decent amount, like a few hundred feedback, not 10 of thousands. One of my accounts has like 10,000 feedback now. But like you don't want to, I know a lot of people will be more attracted to the more expensive items because the margin is going to be bigger. But in the beginning, if you're new to eBay, you want to start with the cheaper items. You may want to throw in a couple expensive items just to see how it goes. But build up that track record on eBay first before. I love this live thing because I actually never got this question before. But you want to build up that track record first before selling expensive items.
We got a comment from Andrew Sedan saying, this is very informative, Steve and Marc, and amazing that I finally got to catch you guys live UK time. So it looks like we got someone watching from the UK, which is awesome. So from the UK to Nicaragua to Connecticut, we've got the triangle going on right now. We're all connecting. And that's what I love about these YouTube videos. You can just answer your guys' questions live and direct. We got Kyrol Benjamin in the house, Mark Stein, D Malone. Already shouted him out. What up, mother effer? Yes. Cool. So I think that's about it. Do you have any, definitely want to get you back on the channel again, man, and kind of share like, because I don't know if you guys know, but he has a software. It's called DSGENIE that actually helps drop shippers. You guys can check it out if you want. There's a link in the description to check out the software. There's also a link if you want to opt in to get some more free training and check out some other interviews that I've done with successful drop shippers. You can check that in the description as well. But definitely want to have you back on again, man, to kind of like share how your software works, because I'm using DSM tool right now.
Okay,
to kind of speed up my listing process. But I'm not very informed in terms of like how to snipe on eBay and exactly what that is. So maybe we could come back on for a part 2 and kind of do a tutorial or something, man. Because I hear a lot of people having success using your software, but I don't know how to use it. I've never used it before. But
definitely, that would be interesting. Yeah, we could do a call. We could do another call, and I could go through and show you guys how it works. And yeah, sure. Just let me know when. Like this is what I do every day. So.
Hey, Marc, Anthony Hammock is in the house. What's up, Anthony? Good to see you. He's asking, obviously you can make money doing this. That's true.
Right.
Can someone do this part-time, and what, if anything, would be different between full-time and part-time? Our buddy Paul Joseph, he did over 200,000 in January with 18,000 profit, and he's a full-time lawyer. He's a freaking lawyer, 9 to 5. So he does have 8 or 9 virtual assistants, but that proves yes to me. What are your thoughts? Can people drop ship part-time? Your honest opinion.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I could think of, okay, so most of the guys in DSGENIE are part-timers, right? And again, I could see exactly what's going on and how much money they're making. So I could give you some actual examples so you could get an idea. So there's this guy in our group, Oliver. he works between an hour to an hour and a half every day, and he makes about $2,000 a month. Now that is not the average, or that is not what to expect. But I've seen guys work anywhere from an hour to 3 hours a day and make $1,000, $2,000 a month, $3,000 a month extra, and that's a game changer for me. And one of my goals when I started this is that, like, because I know most people who do this are going to do it part time. I'm happy when a lot of people take it full time. Like I've always made money online, so when I started, it was to go full time. But definitely, you could definitely do this part time.
Cool. Awesome. So I think that's it for the show. Marc, thank you so much for coming on. Again, guys, if you check the links down below, you're going to be able to check out his YouTube channels down there, his software, DSGENIE, which we'll have him come back on again and kind of do like a free kind of tutorial. And also, if you want to get some free dropshipping training down there, check out some interviews I did with Paul and a couple other folks. Check that out. It's all in the description. But Marc, thanks, man. No BS dropshipping training. I love the name. And maybe we can get on your channel in a couple minutes if we could get it working.
Yeah, definitely. Let me try to. All right. Thanks a lot, Steve.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.